This is my Twitter account. So I will show what happened when I contacted Interpol on 8th of July 2019, and today is July 2023, so it's a basically anniversary, because this is the day when I started using Twitter, which I'm going to show afterwards. But now I'm showing what's this? I've never seen this before. Now I'm showing tweets that I sent to the Interpol at that time, that date. And after I did that, I needed to do that because Interpol was ignoring my emails and phone calls. So in these tweets can be seen that I reported top of Ministry of Interior of Serbia for involvement in international organized crime. So these are the tweets. I showed them in other videos, but I'm showing them again just for completeness. So after I'm finished with showing these tweets, I will show what happened 24 hours after that. So again, tweets, I will show all of them up to 9th of July. So all tweets from 8th of July. Of course I need to open these okay, it's now age restricted. This is also, I don't know, it's not, it's still here. So these are videos showing how people live in Western European countries. I'm not going in details. So okay. So explanation about these videos, why I posted them, is above. This is very important. So JURGEN STOCK, Secretary General of Interpol. I basically, after I showed this video, I proved that he's a total faker. Basically humiliated him and insulted him, and still these are of course his colleagues know about that, but everything is still here. They don't have the guts to remove any of these. At least it appears they haven't removed it. I have, of course, I recorded everything long time ago, and I have all these tweets in my G drive folder. Actually, 2 G drive folders, final and final 2, but the final 2 is the one that's updated, regularly updated. The final is the old one. So here's that folder, and these are the tweets. So this first one is the one which is pinned, so it's not at the end, it's not at the top. So that was it basically. Again, basically, okay. So and you can, of course, this folder is public. You can access it from within my YouTube channel. So you just go to this video, and in the description is the link. I just need to open it just to show that this is the folder. It's the same folder as the one I just showed, so that's basically, again, basically, oops. So that's the same thing. So let's continue with these tweets. Forensic science. I explained why I posted this above in tweets above. So I'm not going to comment not going to go into details. So it's still 8th of July. Then I contacted some of the popular so-called investigative journalists, like this one, Sputnik Serbia. They never answered. I also sent them a lot of emails. They never answered. It's still 8th. This guy is also probably the most popular so-called investigative journalist in Serbia, Boris Malagurski. He's the only one who blocked me. Let's see if I'm still blocked. Yeah, I'm still blocked. So he blocked me in the context of international organized crime, and in his Facebook account. So I posted some videos on international organized crime on his Facebook account, and Facebook was shadow banning me in real time. I have videos in my YouTube channel that I just showed. So just to finish up, yeah, so this is now 9th of July, and I'm going to stop here. Maybe just quickly go to the top. There is a point where I stopped posting everything in 2019, and it continued in 2021, sorry. This is about Tesla. Yes, this is where this was the last one, 2019, July 10th, and then it continued on 12th of March 2021, and there was I don't know why these videos are not shown anymore. Not shown anymore. Okay, so this is something related to Satanism. I thought it's deleted, but I don't know why it's not shown here. I'm in the preview. Okay, so that would be all regarding Twitter. As some people might know, so it is strictly forbidden by international laws to post anything related to crime on Twitter of institutions like Interpol and similar. And another thing that I must mention regarding Interpol that they are in deep trouble, because of course they're trying to postpone that scandal from breaking out in every possible means, but it will sooner or later break out. So it's the fact that Interpol, it is possible that Interpol didn't know about Epstein scandal, what's going on within that operation, because it was happening for 30 years. This is now official, and it is official that even Russia is involved, so this is official now. So after that information about involvement of Russia within Jeffrey Epstein scandal popped up, we saw what happened with this so-called riot of what's the name of that private army? Wagner, right? So another thing that I want to show is what happened when I contacted the United States Department of Justice, because FBI was ignoring me, as can be an European Commission as well. So FBI, they were ignoring me, and then I contacted Department of Justice, United States Department of Justice here using email, and then I posted, when they ignored me, I posted everything on their official Twitter account, which was followed by, I don't know, like 2 million people, something like that. So everything is in these videos. And what happened after I did that is most of the state institutions, which can be seen here, started cooperating, primarily the prosecution offices. So I contacted United States Department of Justice on 7th of July, and later these are the videos from the end of, no, this is not the end of July, this is something else. Republic of Prosecution. Okay, this is 6th of July. So, okay, so these are the videos starting from here, the end of July 2021. After I contacted United States Department of Justice, it can be seen here. From the description, I haven't translated it, it's in Serbian, that prosecution offices and courts started cooperating by the means that they promised, they gave me some information they refused to provide for like 2 to 3 years, and they suddenly started giving me those information after I contacted United States Department of Justice, because they finally were aware of the fact that it's not a joke, it's serious. They knew about Interpol involvement, but probably that was not enough. I don't know, they thought it's just a coincidence, but this was not a coincidence. But somebody stepped in, somebody probably very important, and they stopped cooperating again. So that somebody is probably somebody from Serbian government and or directly from foreign embassies in Belgrade. In first place, of course, United States embassy, then UK and German embassy, and so on and so on. So this shows how important it is to move the case. In this, it's a case of monstrous murders of my family. There are all these videos, most of them are related to that. So it shows how important it is to move everything to international domain when it comes to legal stuff. So I'm now showing what happened 24 hours after I contacted Interpol. So I'm going to first try this. So emails I sent to Police Department of Smederevo, which is center of the area where my father lived, and I now live there. So these are the video. Okay, this is basically not really the best way to do it, so I will do the vice versa. So emails, it's faster this way. Emails that they sent to me, because the other emails are emails that that they haven't answered, or they were just ignoring me. So first email is from 26th of February, after my father died. So this is portparol. I don't know how this is translated to English. Spokesman. Oh, okay, spokesman. So this is spokesman of Police Department of Smederevo, Serbia. So he just confirmed they received email, blah blah blah, and then this is the first answer I got from them. If I open it, so this is commissioner, which is really strange that commissioner answers emails unless it is something really important. Date and so on, number of the case. So what he did here, he answered that his colleagues checked everything. So I reported that police did nothing, not just them, but police officers from Novi Sad, where I lived. They did nothing when I reported that doctors are trying to kill my father. They murdered him that same day. He died under very suspicious circumstances, and the strange thing is that he was police officer in reserve. He was in Kosovo and Metohija in 1981, when there was a civil war there during that year. So they did nothing. And they reported here that they sent my crime report on my grandfather's now murder to Higher Instance Prosecution in Smederevo, and so on and so on. This is the case of my grandfather's related to my grandfather's murder, and that acting prosecutor said it's nothing suspicious. This is something related to that monster which murdered my family, nothing important. And this is about my father's gun that I needed to give to the police because there was no the inheritance proceeding was late. I explained why in other videos. So basically he again basically so he just pretends that when prosecutor or deputy prosecutor commits some crime, it's not their responsibility. And he did the same in other response. So this one, just a second, I need to see what if there is no my response here. So this is the second response. This is very important. So I just here forwarded this to my brother. So this is the second response. He again, commissioner, he's calling my crime report submission. I explained why they're doing that in other videos, in a lot of other videos. I'm not going to not going into details here. So he said that of course this is very strange that he didn't mention what I sent and when I sent. I mean, any sort of description, just said that this is submission, and said that nothing is new, so they cannot act, no new evidence. So again, the date, number of cases, and so on and so on. And this is very important because I gave here a lot of pieces of evidence that this monster who murdered my family is a psych patient. He was in so this is the date, in May and June that year in psych ward for 40 days. And I also asked why she's not called to give statement regarding my grandfather's murder as one of the witnesses. Again, details on what happened are in other videos. So let's go to these are the attachments. So they called me to give statement regarding my father's gun, but they didn't state here what is the crime in question. So this is illegal. This is something regarding money that this monster who murdered my family gave me. I mean, I had money at that time, but I took it because I knew she's trying to prove that I am taking money from her. Of course, she did that to hide how much money she stole from my property. To this very day, she didn't call to give statement regarding my grandfather's murder. And this is something that I mentioned in that email, this email, about involvement of ambulance of Smederevo in death of my grandmother, my grandfather and my father. So they are ER actually, not ambulance. I don't know what's the difference. Is there any difference? So not just hospital in Smederevo and the clinical center in Belgrade, but also ER of Smederevo are involved in my monstrous murders of members of my family. They finished them off basically. Again, basically. Oops. So let's see the next one. So that was the second, right? The second answer. This is the third answer. Again, the date. One more time, my crime report is treated as submission. Not a single reference when I sent that. How I sent that so-called submission and so on and so on. And he just repeated the frauds that monster who murdered my family committed. It's not their business, and the court is independent body. So they cannot do anything about that. So I was probably here referring to the fact that they're trying to give that monster who murdered my family, they're trying to give her part of my property because according to the law on inheritance, she cannot inherit anything until my crime reports I filed are charges from these crime reports are dismissed. And again, Commissioner, and this is, and of course I haven't answered because he's make a fool of me, and this is the most important part. So this is 24 hours after I posted those tweets. So as can be seen, it's 3:20 p.m. So police working hours are from I think 7 to 3 p.m. 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So they were working after hours, which is very strange unless something important is happening. So this is the crucial point. He forwarded that email I sent them, which is crime report stating that that monster murdered my family. She has psych issues, and he stated here again. No, he stated he gave the date of and that it's email of again submission, and he forwarded that to higher instance prosecution of Smederevo, which is wrong, which is against the law. They should have forwarded that to prosecution which is in charge of that prosecution in Smederevo, and in this case it's prosecution of appeals in Belgrade, because I reported higher instance prosecution in Smederevo of crimes, major crimes, so not investigating anything regarding my grandfather's death. So of course at that time even my father was dead. So basically that was so that was that crime report was by default also crime report of my grandfather's or my grandmother and my father's death, because I gave a lot of details in other emails. They just ignored that. But the point here is that they forwarded the crime report. Doesn't matter that they're calling here, he's calling here that crime report submission. They forwarded that with the details and details on email. So, which means that they are behind my claims. My 3 members of my family are monstrously murdered. And again, you can see that it happened 24 hours after I posted everything on Twitter. So they completely changed attitude. So these are now my responses. Again, restated everything I stated before, and some new gave some new facts. So this is sent to forwarded also to Police Internal Affairs, and so on and so on. These are statements on my father and that monster who murdered my family. They gave to social workers. Then I wrote to Alexander Kuzmanovic, deputy prosecutor who was investigating my grandfather's murder. I summed up everything that happened regarding Twitter. So then asked them again. Police Internal Affairs in Belgrade, Police Department of Smederevo, higher instance prosecution in Smederevo, and elementary court in Smederevo regarding my grandfather's my father's inheritance proceedings. Or maybe it was not that. Yeah, these are some actually new. Yeah, these are some new details, and about monster who murdered my family, and it all has to do, as I stated, with so-called unworthiness to inherit, because she cannot inherit under any charges any charges of crimes against someone that she inherits from. In this case, my father, are dropped to this very day. These charges, which are sent by police, so I could, again, I sent multiple times before this happened. I filed multiple crime reports directly to state that prosecution, higher instance prosecution, investigating my grandfather's murder. But this is different because police now is behind this. So I just restated everything from before, and gave some new details. This is Ministry of Justice and some sort of board which is controlling the courts and the basically judicial system, and so on and so on. So they haven't answered, of course. They just confirmed they received that, and this is the Police Internal Affairs. They just also confirmed, and this is some new questions for the same people, and so on and so on. They did nothing. Okay, so this is what happened after I contacted Interpol, and this part is was crucial during my father's inheritance proceedings, because judge committed major frauds during that, and the reason is exactly this, because at this time this was the strongest piece of evidence that that monster murdered my family, because the deputy prosecutor, as I already explained, he closed the case without any explanation. The case of monstrous murder of my grandfather. Of course, in other videos you can see that higher instance prosecutions which are above this prosecution, which was in charge of investigating my grandfather's murder, they also did nothing. They were ignoring me. So I'll just show the two more emails I received from them. So this is email where I reported that monster who murdered my family stole wood from my property, so the property that my grandfather bought for me, so that I hadn't inherited that from my father, but it was my property. So I explained details here about that. About that event, and here is the answer of police officer, local police officer, who is in charge of part of internal affairs, police internal affairs unit. So he confirmed that they forwarded my report on stealing wood from my property, so crime report, to elementary prosecution office in Smederevo. To this day I haven't received a case related to that event. So the same thing is with all the other crime reports I filed, and finally the last response from them, I forward them a lot of other emails, but these are the only response I get from them. So this is regarding that report of, again, commissioner report of stealing wood from my property. They cannot answer in the name of, on behalf of prosecution offices, and that they sent not just forwarded not just my crime report of stealing wood from my property, not just email, but also video on CD. This is very important because none of the state institutions did that, but they, according to the law, according to law of inheritance proceedings, this must be done. So this is something about crime report filed against me by this piece of shit. So she's my neighbor, and she's famous for regularly taking dead bathing water, really weird monster. So she reported me for harassing her. Of course, nothing happened. It was all false. But police and prosecution offices in charge haven't filed counter counter crime report on false reporting of a crime, and again to this date I haven't received that case. So the same thing that was happening with all the other cases. So as can be seen in other videos, I still haven't received a single case, and there are now like around 50 cases related to monstrous murders of my family, 3 members of my family. So that was all regarding the police department of Smederevo, and now I need to show quickly the same thing but for police department of Novi Sad. So I'm not going to show the not going to show emails that I sent to them because they haven't answered, so it doesn't make any sense. And one way or another, all of them are in that folder on G Drive that I mentioned. So I will just quickly show where they are. So PUSD is related to Police Department of Smederevo, this one, and PINS, which stands for Police Station Stari Grad in Novi Sad, which is of course they're part of Police Department of Novi Sad where I lived up to beginning of November 2021. Now I'm living in country where my father lived, and this is only 3 of them. I will show them now. Only 3 pages, and this is related to my as I already explained, my father's death. Actually, the crime report. Actually, it was a crime report I filed via phone when again doctors tried to, not tried, but they were while they were trying to murder my father. Of course, they succeeded. They murdered him. So this is their response, and after that only one response, and it is very interesting. So what's this? Not this one, but Novi Sad. So only one. So police station Stari Grad and Novi Sad. These are my questions. So one more time, they did nothing, although my father was their colleague. So in case, what that shows is that in case when real mafia is involved, the police doesn't follow their code of honor of protecting their colleagues. Of course, details on why real mafia is involved in this are in these videos on my YouTube channel, like 300 videos, and in this G Drive folder, that G Drive folder. So this is the report, and it's only 1 page. When I reported police officers, their colleagues, that they did nothing. So the date, Novi Sad, and so on and so on. I reported their colleagues, they did nothing when I reported using phone, so not email. That it was I think 28th of December 2018 when my father died. So I reported doctors tried to murder him, so, and they did nothing. And I'm not going into details. They're claiming here everything is okay, blah blah blah, and I will just point out there is no any sort of a signature or seal. I don't know if they missed that out. I asked them to provide that here, but they haven't answered. So that was regarding police department of Novi Sad. Another video related to notary who tried to give my whole property to monster who murdered my family to as a best proof that she's not guilty. In that video I showed also that police officers from the same station were intimidating me, so I'm not going into details about that now. And the last thing I'm going to give here regarding these emails related to those tweets I posted to Interpol. As you could see, I just mentioned Interpol in those tweets. So the last one is so-called Sector of Internal Affairs, so Police Internal Affairs of Serbia. This is their address in Belgrade. In most of the cases I needed to call them to have them answer my 2656 to answer my emails. So well, there are a lot of emails here, so I'll just show the yeah, and there is a SUKP folder in final 2 folder on G drive, so all these emails should be there. This is that initial crime report I filed a day after my father died. I filed that to Police Internal Affairs. These are details on everything what happened. That doctors did nothing. I was instructed to send this using regular mail. I spent money on nothing, but I still actually I sent this to my brother. This is to DA Studio where it's printed, and this is to Internal Affairs. Give a lot of details here. NDA, I don't know what's this, but it's not live anymore. So I won't go into details because I explained everything in other videos. These are the all the facts that I sent to prosecution offices. A lot of prosecution offices are involved here. So of course they did nothing. And when they answered, they just answered the parts that suits them and ignored all important details without explanation why, and so on and so on. Again to Internal Affairs, but now I'm just interested in emails they sent. They just confirmed here that they received it. So in most of the cases I needed to call them by phone so that they confirm they received my emails. So this is their first response, and this is the Commissioner of Internal Affairs of Serbia, Police Internal Affairs of Serbia, called Sector, date and so on and so on. They just forwarded everything to police department in Smederevo. They didn't want to investigate anything. So maybe they forwarded this to their officer there, I don't know, local officer. That guy is Zoran Stankovic that I mentioned it in other email. And also forwarded the other email to DA Elementary Prosecution Office in Smederevo and so on and so on. Blah blah blah. The same thing as all the other state institutions. So yeah, and I notified them multiple times they are not using secure connection, which is, I mean, impossible to comprehend. Another email from them, again, Commissioner of Internal Affairs, Police Internal Affairs of Serbia. The same thing, blah blah blah. They just confirmed they received my email here. I don't know if I open this. Yeah, this is something else. Again, the same person. Again, they just forwarded my my email to police department of Smederevo. So basically, so the same thing, the same person. They're just forwarding the my crime reports to their colleagues who committed crimes, not reporting crime is a crime. I think this is the same thing. So I'm not really going to show anymore because again everything is in G drive, so they're doing the same thing over and over again, and this is commissioner, which is very strange because there are their colleagues which are working on cases, so it's not the job of commission to answer that, and they did for the same reason the other prosecution offices, which means chief prosecutors of prosecution offices, presidents of the courts, and so on and so on. So people on the top of state institutions, they are answering my emails, although that is not their job, and they are doing that for the same reason, and it's to give credibility to their acting, which is against the law. These are major crimes they committed. In first place, as I explained in other videos, this is obstruction of justice. Then it's not reporting a crime. These are all crimes against the judiciary. And finally, there is also a crime called, from crime law of Serbia, called preventing somebody from collecting evidence. And so on and so on. So these are basically, and of course, frauds they committed, and so on and so on. So these are the most important crimes. There are a lot of other crimes they committed, but these are the most important, and the unbelievable crimes for state institutions who are paid by taxpayers, by citizens, and their job is to protect citizens, but they are not doing that when real mafia is involved in the case. So again, I explained why real mafia in other videos. So I think that this would be all about those tweets and why it is important to involve international institutions in any case.